Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur Season 2, Episode 16. I'm going to state my message at the beginning of this episode. Uh, Boycott this show by not refusing to watch it, but pirating these episodes. Ordinarily, I would not say pirate the show, but you should, because if Disney is refusing to release this episode with the trans athlete character, you should boycott them on every level for that. But this is a good show, and I intend to keep reviewing it. I'm not going to let that get in the way of me making content about it, but very frustrating. This is a good episode, though. I love how this episode directly follows up the last two episodes, which makes me feel like this show might have been going in a more continuity-focused direction. Basically, in this episode, you really see how Moon Girl's dynamic with their family has changed. Like, they're all watching a TV show and about, like, it's like an action movie that's clearly a ripoff or parody of Mission Impossible. It's got, like, Tom Cruise, and there's all kinds of Mission Impossible references in this, and James Bond references a little bit in here, too, but mostly Mission Impossible. But you see that in this episode, and her dad and her, like, have this certain dynamic, but you see, like, the rest of her family's dynamic has changed in a good way. The only one that's hurt is her mom, and you see Lunella's constant and, like, intense fear of losing her family because of what's going on with her mom, but eventually her dad and her agreed to work stuff out, and then basically in this episode, he's frustrated that he doesn't have his own Moon Girl moment, and just like the rest of her family's had, and including her mom, oddly enough. But he wants that moment, and so Lunella tries to give it to him. Tries to give him like a sidekick role that doesn't really work out because her dad's a bit of a goof and a clumsy guy, but means well. But then you can't really have that when you're fighting crime. You have to know what you're doing. And so eventually, Lunella just kind of, they make up, decide what they're going to do next, and realize they don't need their own little Moon Girl moment. They can just be there for each other, and he's like, yeah, you're growing up, and our relationship is going to evolve and change, and that's kind of the theme of this episode is, yeah, I think it's just such a well-written, great daughter and father dynamic that's just so written so well. And it's just really well paced and really well put together. And I like all the different callbacks to episodes that I guess you could technically watch this episode. Just like I think you can watch the new Captain America movie without seeing a ton of the MCU stuff. But you're definitely enhanced if you've seen everything. And I think that's no difference here, and it's just a really great episode that I think really is really well written and structured, and a great moral message to it. And I'm curious to see what the rest of the season and this final batch of the episodes for the series, which, man, it really hurts. I don't really want this show to go, but I mean, number one, Disney's evil, so I'd rather the show end than continue to put money in that disgusting corporation's pockets, but also I don't think they care. But it's still such a good show, and the artists who make this show, I hope they go on to do great things other places because this show is so good. Let me know your thoughts. Like, share, and subscribe.